we are going to have a look at ratios. Ratios are very much the same as fractions. So when we are working with 3/4, we can write 3/4 as a ratio of 3 to 4. So let's have a look at another example, 7/8. 7/8 is equal to 7 to 8 as a ratio. So as you can see, these are quite simple. We just need to have an understanding of ratios being similar to fractions. So 9/10 will be equal to 9 to 10 as a ratio, and 5/6 will be equal to 5 to 6 as a ratio. 12/13 will be equal to 12 to 13, and 11/15 will be equal to 11 to 15. So just to slowly introduce you to the concept of ratios, I wanted to show you how similar fractions are to ratios, and hopefully that will be less daunting for you when you start learning about ratios. When we are working with ratios that are unsimplified, in exactly the same way as we would simplify fractions, we will simplify ratios as well. So 18 to 24 is equal as a fraction to 18/24. And in the same way that we would simplify 18/24, we are going to simplify 18 to 24 as a ratio as well. So 18/24, we can find a common factor of 6. So we divide both our 18 and our 24 by 6 to get an answer of 3/4. And that 3/4 we can then convert back into a ratio of 3 to 4. Right, so 15/25 or 15 to 25 we can write as 15/25, and we can now simplify this by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 5, and we get an answer of 3/5, and we can convert this simplified fraction now back into the ratio form to get 3 to 5. Right, so when we are working with 16 to 48, let's try and simplify it straight away in our ratio format. So 16 and 48, we need to find a common factor. So we can start with 8. Let's divide both 16 and 48 by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2, and 48 divided by 8 is 6. Right, so we can see that we can simplify 2 to 6 even further. What we need to do is find another common factor. So we divide both 2 and 6 by 2. And we end up with 1 to 3. So 16 to 48 as a simplified ratio is 1 to 3. If we would like to simplify 18 to 63, we again need to find a common factor. We can divide 18 and 63 by 9 to get 18 divided by 9 is 2, and 63 divided by 9 is 7. And you cannot simplify that ratio anymore. So 18 to 63 as a simplified ratio is 2 to 7. 32 to 64 is quite a nice one, because we know that 32 is half of 64. So we just divide them both by 32, and we end up with a simplified ratio of 1 to 2 for this ratio 32 to 64. sharing in ratios helps us really understand what ratios are all about. We are working with the ratio 2 to 3. Now, 2 to 3 means that we've got 2 parts plus 3 parts. So altogether, we have got 5 parts. Let's talk in terms of sweets. So for every 2 sweets that I get, you will get 3 sweets. So if we only have 5 sweets altogether, I am going to end up getting 2 sweets and you will get 3 sweets. If we have got 10 sweets altogether, I am going to get 2/5 of those 10 sweets and you are going to get 3/5 of those 10 sweets. And the reason that we are now working in fifths is because we plus our 2 parts together. So we say 2 parts plus 3 parts gives us our entire amount that we are working with, and that is always our denominator. So I will get 2/5 of that 10, and you will get 3/5 of that 10 sweets, or whatever it might be. So this is quite a nice way to understand our ratios. It's in terms of parts of a whole. So the side of the ratio sign is 2 parts of that whole, and the other side is 3 parts of that whole. So 2 parts plus 3 parts will give us our whole. So 2/5 plus 3/5 has to give us our full amount. So it will give us our 5/5, which is 1 whole. So 2/5 of 10 is equal to, we can put that 10 over 1 and we can cross cancel 5 into itself once, 5 into 10 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. And 1 times 1 is 1, so we've got 4 over 1, or just 4. And then we can again put our 10 over 1 and cross cancel 5 into itself once, 5 into 10 goes twice, 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So we could have worked that out by saying if one part is 4, the other part will have to be 6, because 4 plus what gives me 10? 4 plus 6 gives me 10. So I am going to end up getting 4 sweets and you are going to end up getting 6 sweets if we share 10 sweets in the ratio of 2 to 3. Let's have a look at another example here. If we would like to share 25 in a ratio of 1 to 4, let's call this 25 Rand so that we can relate to it a bit more practically. So if I would like to share 25 Rand in a ratio of 1 to 4, so for every 1 Rand that I get, you will get 4 Rand. Right, so what we do is we plus our 2 parts together. So we plus our 1 and our 4, and again we end up with 5 parts altogether. I will have 1/5 of the entire 25 Rand. So I end up with 1/5 of 25. And you will end up with 4/5 of 25. So 1/5 of 25 is equal to 5 Rand, and 4/5 of 25 is equal to 20 Rand. So as you can see, 5 Rand plus 20 Rand gives us our 25 Rand, which is our whole, and 1/5 plus 4/5 also gives us 1 whole, or 5/5, which is 1 whole. So I will end up with 5 Rand and you will end up with 20 Rand. We are going to share a few more numbers or amounts in certain ratios. Let's have a look at sharing 64 milliliters in a ratio of 3 to 5. So remember what the procedure that we need to follow is. We need to add the 2 parts of our ratio together. So 3 plus 5 will give us our denominator. So we've got 8 wholes. We've got 3/8 of 64. and we've got 5/8 of 64, and those two parts will give us our answer. So if I work out 3 of my wholes, or three parts of my whole, so 3/8 of my 64, I end up with 8 into itself once. 8 into 64 goes 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24 milliliters. And the other side of my ratio will be 8 into itself once, and 8 into 64 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40 milliliters. So this person who got the 3 will get 24 milliliters, and the person with the 5 on the other side of the ratio will get 40 milliliters. Let's now share 96 sweets in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 7. So now, just because we are working with more than one number in our ratio, we still just add all the parts of our ratio together. So we've got 2 plus 3, which is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. So we've got a possibility of 12. So we've got 2/12 of 96. We've then got 3/12 of 96. And then we've got 7/12 of 96. And that is how we share 96 sweets in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 7. So now all we need to do is just work quite carefully when we are working out our ofs. So 12 into itself once. 12 into 96 goes 8 times. 2 times 8 is equal to 16. So we've got 16 sweets. Then we've got 12 into itself once and into 96 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. And then we have got 12 into itself once and into 96 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. So we end up with a ratio of 16 to 24 to 56 when we are working with sharing 96 sweets in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 7. We are basically just forming a very similar ratio, and if we were to simplify this ratio right down to its lowest terms, we would end up with a ratio of 2 to 3 to 7. But because we are not just working with 12 sweets, we are working with 96 sweets, we multiply each of these numbers by 8, because 12 fits into 96 8 times. So we end up with 16 sweets to 24 sweets to 56 sweets. When we are asked to increase a certain number in a ratio, what we need to do is divide that number by the smaller part of the ratio and multiply it by the bigger part of the ratio. So increasing 28 in a ratio of 4 to 5, we would first say 28 divided by 4 and then multiplied by 5. So 28 divided by 4 gives us an answer of 7, multiplied by 5 gives us an answer of 35. So increasing 28 in a ratio of 4 to 5 will give us an answer of 35. If you end up with a smaller answer than the original, then you know that you have gone wrong somewhere. So then you just need to double check your work. If we would like to increase 36 in a ratio of 6 to 11, we divide 36 by the smaller number, which is 6, and we multiply it by the bigger number. So 36 divided by 6 is equal to 6. 6 multiplied by 11 is equal to 66. So 66 is obviously greater than 36, so I have achieved my goal. Increasing 45 milliliters in a ratio of 9 to 13. Again, I divide my number by the smaller number, part of my ratio rather, which is 9. and I multiply it by 13. So 45 divided by 9 is 5, multiplied by 13 gives me an answer of 65 milliliters. So don't forget your measurement if there is a measurement attached to that original number. Increasing 84 Rand in a ratio of 7 to 10. Again, I divide my 84 by the smaller number, which is 7, and I multiply it by my bigger number to get 84 divided by 7 is 12, and 12 multiplied by 10 is equal to 120 Rand. So increasing 84 in a ratio of 7 to 10 gives me an answer of 7 to 10 gives me an answer of 120 Rand. When we are decreasing a certain number in a ratio, what we need to do is divide that number by the bigger part of the ratio, the bigger number in the ratio, and multiply it by the smaller number in the ratio. So decreasing 18 in a ratio of 5 to 6, we say 18 divided by 6, multiplied by 5, which is equal to 3 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 15. And because 15 is smaller than 18, I am most likely to have followed the correct method. If we would like to decrease 28 in a ratio of 1 to 7, again I need to divide my 28 by the bigger number, which is 7, and multiply it by my smaller number, which is 1. 28 divided by 7 is 4, and 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. If I would like to decrease 99 Rand in a ratio of 8 to 11, I divide my 99 by 11, and I multiply it by 8, because 8 is my smaller number. So 99 divided by 11 gives me an answer of 9, and 9 multiplied by 8 gives me an answer of 72 Rand. Right, if I would like to decrease 65 meters in a ratio of 3 to 5, I say 65 divided by my bigger number of the bigger part of my ratio, which is 5, and I multiply it by 3 to get an answer of 13 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 39 meters. So decreasing 65 meters in a ratio of 3 to 5 gives me an answer of 39 meters.